another episode of Worst Collection Ever. This is the show where we tell you about the worst comic book collection in existence, and it just happens to belong to us. I'm Jen.
I'm Sean.
Hi.
How are you? I'm terrific.
Good.
So, I guess happy December.
Fuck.
We've somehow reached an end of another year.
I don't want to talk about it.
I know.
I really hate the passage of time, but we have established that already.
I know. It's really strange.
It's upsetting, and I don't like it.
It was just January.
I do not like it. Okay.
I hope you all had a good Thanksgiving.
Yes.
We took the week off just to celebrate or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I hope you guys are sticking around and coming back for another episode here. So we do appreciate that. I wanted to talk about things we watched. This is normally what we do here at the top. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Do you want to talk about
what did we watch?
Well, last night we watched the entirety of. Well,
you watched. I watched some of it.
Yeah,
I was watching Dragula, and then I
okay.
I had to watch that first.
Watch the entirety of What If on Disney Plus. I'll start with that. Because I've been wanting to watch it. I've been, thinking about it, and I want to catch up on this stuff because it's what's hip. Mm-hmm. Jesus.
We have a comic book podcast.
We have a comic book podcast, but also the fact that this is content that is regularly released every couple of months, and we're just getting it now. It just happens.
Yeah,
is a remarkable thing.
Yeah,
considering when we grew up in the 90s, and
all we had was those animated shows for kids.
Well, all we had, we only had the animated shows, and then we had like Batman movies.
Yes.
And maybe like Spawn or maybe some other.
That's right. Every once in a while, you get a Spawn.
You get some other cult movie, something based vaguely on a property or something. It's just, it wasn't like you have it now. Like I feel, the younger kids, and I know this sounds very, old man, whatever.
Yeah,
but
old man yells at cloud.
But you don't. You can't. Some of you folks, some of you kids out there, or younger people out there, can't fathom a time when you didn't have this stuff readily available.
It's true.
Yeah, because we didn't have that.
No.
We had it was always kind of like a joke. So the fact that there's a show based on What If, and it's an animated show, so whatever. But the fact that it exists is something I had to check out. So, and basically, if you're not familiar with What If, Marvel's What If, it's the Watcher who is, he watches things. Yes. That's all I really, he's a cosmic being who watches things, and he tells tales about these universes. So in the cartoons case, they have different versions of stories, and they have like a What If Marvel Zombies type of deal, which I think is kind of like a backdoor pilot to the Marvel Zombies thing that they announced.
Yes.
There's also what if Peggy Carter became Captain Britain, or what if she took that super serum?
So, can I interject? So, I didn't watch the first couple episodes because I was obviously watching Dragula. Very important to watch Dragula, but I did come and see quite a lot of the episodes. I don't know if I appreciated. Well, I get what they were going for. I didn't need all the stories to tie together.
Well, that's what I was going to get to. Yeah. So they tell these individual stories, and
which I'm down with.
Yeah, but then at the last one, the penultimate one is what if Ultron defeated the Avengers, or what if he won? Right. And the concept is that he won the basically Age of Ultron, the conflict in Age of Ultron, and at some point he gets the Infinity Stones because he just kills Thanos, because he's super powerful or whatever.
Doesn't he
he just cuts him in half?
Yeah,
Thanos walks off a portal with the Infinity Gauntlet, and then he just zap. Yeah, and that's it.
He just cuts him in half, and it's well, there goes Thanos.
Yep, and he gets the Infinity Stones, and he becomes like this, cosmic being, and he's going around, destroying all the planets and stuff, and then he's standing there like on a planet, and the Watcher's narrating, and he's like, "Hang on, I could hear you. Who's that?" And he recognizes, that the Watcher is narrating this, so he goes and he attacks the Watcher because he's trying to get a hold of the different, try to wreak havoc on the different universes.
Right.
And so the Watcher has to call upon different people from the different stories.
Yeah, he
saw.
goes and he's like, Gamora.
Well, Gamora, I don't remember Gamora.
Neither do I. We got Gamora, we got T'Challa, Star-Lord T'Challa.
Yeah.
Captain Carter. Thor, who's just Thor.
Yeah.
Thor doesn't get to be anybody. He's just Thor. Doctor Strange is there, but he's like, after he sucked every power out of all these monsters that he summoned out of whatever the fuck
he's
that thing
trapped
was.
in this limbo world or whatever.
Because he ended up killing himself or something. I don't really
remember.
Well,
the episode is about that involves him was what if he lost his heart?
I thought it was going to be his real heart.
That's what I thought.
I did too. I was like, oh, he's going to lose his heart. He's got an Iron Man heart. So I was like, oh, it's going to be Iron Strange. That'll be cool, right?
Yeah.
No, it's just the lady he liked died.
Yeah, and he tries to go back and remedy it, and
she keeps dying.
She keeps dying, which is it's actually kind of
pretty funny.
It's actually kind of funny because he just tries all these different scenarios, and she just keeps dying.
Even when she gets shot.
Even when she gets shot, or when did she get? She gets shot.
Yeah, because they don't go to the award ceremony, and he takes her to some diner restaurant, and some guy shoots her.
Oh, that's right, because there's somebody trying to
a robbery
or whatever, and then
she dies in an explosion at one point. She just drops dead on the dance floor. It's just.
Oh yeah, that's right. She just ran. Yeah, that's right. She's dancing, and she's just, I'm dead. It's ridiculous.
He's like, I must save you. And I was like, you can't.
But you can't, because it's something where the Watcher's like, no, it's meant to happen this way.
Well, yeah,
you can't fix that. And
it's called a
turning point, or
it's an absolute moment in time or something.
Point.
I guess they call it.
Yeah, and so and he keeps, but he finds out that he's able to absorb all these monsters' powers and change that, and he does, but it ends up being a big fuck fest or whatever.
Yeah.
So he calls upon all these different characters from these different stories to battle Ultron, and I mean, as a cosmic story, it's pretty wild. And I did appreciate everything kind of coming together, although I wasn't expecting it, and I didn't really
need it.
I didn't need it. I was fine watching it, but I didn't really need it.
Yeah, I didn't need a bunch of people to fight together at the end. I'm really cool with just what if being real fucked up, because I like the one where it's just and now Iron Man's dead, and now the Hulk exploded, and now everybody keeps dying.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is kind of, from reading What If, that's kind of what it is.
Yeah, oh yeah, pretty much.
Everybody's fucking dying left and right, and it's great.
Yeah.
Just because, you're doing something so different, and you can kill off characters if you want to, because it's not continuity. So
yeah. No, that's well.
Fucking Infinity Stones.
Fucking Infinity Stones, man.
Man, fuck those things.
But yeah, it's pretty wild. Here's the thing. I think I didn't expect it to be something like that in the first season.
Yeah.
Although maybe it's something where they were just we're not going to do another season of this.
I think they're getting another season, though.
I mean, it could.
But maybe they did it so they, just in case they didn't get another season.
It's possible, yeah. I mean, they might have just did it that way and just had something resolute, at the end of it. Well, actually, no, they had a cliffhanger at the very end. So they might be carrying on with something like that. But
what happened at the very end of that?
Well, at the very end, so there was a thing where
Killmonger was also there.
Yeah.
In the Chosens. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. But there's a deal at the end where in the Peggy Carter universe, she finds out that Steve might still be alive or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird. So anyways, that's that's What If. I mean, I liked it. Mm-hmm. You know, I definitely wonder if they're going to do another season. I don't know. You know, because they did with WandaVision. That was just one and done.
Right.
So
right. It also set up some of the next Captain Marvel movie.
Right.
At the very end, and then it also set up some of Doctor Strange because
well they're also doing the Agatha Harkness show too.
Right, but that I'm talking about, it set up the movies because at the very end of WandaVision, where she's like at that cabin, whatever is happening there has something to do with the next Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah,
and then there's that part where Monica Rambeau gets called into the theater, and they're talking about the Kree.
Oh no, the Skrulls.
The Skrulls.
Yeah,
that's supposed to be setting up part of Captain America or Captain Marvel 2.
Okay.
So they were doing that in that show too, just at the very end.
And maybe Secret Invasion too.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah. So yeah, that's What If. And then I started this, and I've been meaning to talk about it for forever, just never got around to it. But MODOK.
Yeah.
Which is on Hulu.
Yes.
It's one of those secret Marvel shows on Hulu.
Yeah, it's just one of those ones everybody forgot about. Nobody really, I don't know.
Nobody talks about it.
I didn't feel like anybody talked about it when it came out. Not like they do with these Disney shows.
No, well, when compared to, I mean, obviously, Patton Oswalt, who does the voice of MODOK, I'm sure he promoted it. But
of course, yeah.
But I mean, it was kind of like a thing where it just happened.
Yes.
You know, and you don't really. Granted, I'm not out there on Reddit and all these places looking up and seeing what people are talking about. But it was also a thing where you're on Twitter and you don't ever see it trending.
I mean, usually I don't even need to see it trending. Usually I'll see people just talking about these Marvel shows or whatever, next Spider-Man.
Well, I remember What If was everybody was talking
about What If, but MODOK I didn't really see that as much.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't mean it didn't happen. I just didn't see it.
I really enjoyed MODOK.
It was fun. It was a good time.
Yeah, because it's basically
it's dumb as fuck.
Yeah, it's dumb as shit. It's Patton Oswalt, you know, fulfilling his destiny.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because he pretty much, you know, he is. Well,
didn't he make
the troll?
Didn't he make some joke where he was like, "If I'm ever gonna be in the Marvel universe, I have to be MODOK"? Wasn't that the joke? He's like, "Who else can I play?"
Yeah, exactly.
And then they were like, oh, "Okay."
He's like, "You also be Pip the Troll if you want." He's like, "Great."
It's like, "Fuck, I get to be two of them."
Yeah,
which is really exciting.
But the thing I really, first of all, there's a few things I really enjoyed about it. I mean, there's a lot of swearing.
Yes.
It's a lot of gory blood, you know, claymation bits or whatever.
People getting killed.
And just a lot of really really
it's that irreverent kind of,
but also scathing jokes and stuff.
Yeah, it's the same sort of humor that you would find in a Futurama, that you would find in The Simpsons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
but done up really you know, just turned up to 11.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it because Wonder Man's in it.
Yes, he is. And he takes off his shirt at one point, and him and MODOK fight. Wonder Man's wearing nothing but tiny whities or whatever. Yeah. I'm sorry, they're red. It's a red bikini underwear.
Yeah, because Wonder Man is in this universe, he's like a movie star hero.
Yeah,
as he is in the comics. But he he starts dating MODOK's wife when they separate.
Yes.
Or whatever. So that kind of brings him into the play. And he's only in for a few episodes, but he's, I think it's Nathan Fillion.
Yes.
Yeah. And he does it's Nathan Fillion, who I think was supposed to play a version. He still might in Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, he does a great job. So I was happy to see Wonder Man.
And John Hamm was the voice of Iron Man.
Right.
Which is very fitting.
And Eddie Pepitone managed to get in there. He was the voice of the Melter.
Oh, that's right.
Because this is why, again, another reason why I love the show. It goes really obscure with some of these villains.
You get your obscure guys
and characters like Tatterdemalions in this fucking thing.
Yeah.
Melter, Pound Cakes, voiced by Whoopi Goldberg.
That's right. I remember that.
Who else? Armadillo.
Yeah, there's MODOK hanging out with all those basically D-list villains.
Yeah. And they reference these other villains, but they don't show, or not villains, but other heroes, and they don't show them except for Iron Man.
Yeah.
They don't they mention Black Widow and Hawkeye and Hulk or whatever.
Yeah, and there's the Avengers are mentioned, obviously. Like, you can see, like, there's Thor's hammer drawn in the background.
Yeah.
Captain America's shield in one other part. So, like, you get these references, but you don't see these characters.
Yeah, but they don't necessarily focus on them, which, I mean, it's not supposed to be like a superhero show. It's supposed to be like MODOK is, he runs AIM, but he also has a family, like a normal family.
And he's like going through a divorce.
Well, actually, he's got normal. He's got a normal wife, a normal wife and a normal kid, a normal son.
I don't know if he's normal. He's physically normal. He doesn't have MODOK's big ass head, but that kid's fucked up.
No, that kid's weird. But but there's MODOK and his daughter.
Yes.
His daughter also has a big head, like MODOK does, and she rides around in a chair.
Yes,
like
she does.
Which there's just he's also like he's always like he's real like slovenly and like gross and stuff.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Like when he has his sad divorced dad apartment.
I just like Jesus gets some mail. He's like, "Oh, it's my issue with Sad Man Weekly."
That's right. It's like, why does it always smell like soup?
Yeah. No, I would highly recommend it. If you have Hulu, I would watch it.
Yeah, it's fun.
And, it's one of the secret Marvel shows on there, like fucking The Runaways and
that's right.
Cloak and Dagger or whatever.
Which I don't think we ever got like past like episode 2 of either one of those.
I've never even seen any of them.
Didn't we watch Cloak and Dagger? We watched like the first 2 episodes, or did I just watch them?
You probably did. I don't remember watching it.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm certain we would have talked about it.
No, I think you did, because I was like, "Who's that guy?" And you had to tell me who it was. And it was like a very like visually dark show, and it was like the brother and then like the sister came to find him after somebody died, and they're like in a diner. Do you remember this? That was the last episode we watched.
I think that's a different show.
No.
Are you thinking Misfits?
No.
Okay.
I've watched all Misfits, and they're British.
Okay.
It was I'm pretty sure it's Cloak and Dagger.
I don't remember watching an episode of Cloak and Dagger. Maybe I did. I just
Maybe it was another one. But what was the other one where it had like the brother and sister duo?
It's a Marvel show?
Oh, I think.
Or are you thinking about Titans?
Which was the one that has the characters from Son of Satan? Son of Satan's kid.
Oh, Hellstorm.
Hellstorm. That's the one we watched.
Which again, which we had to talk about on the show.
Yes.
Another secret Marvel show on.
It took me a second to realize it wasn't Cloak. I was like, it's a guy and a girl, and I was like, all I remember is the diner.
Yeah,
and then I was like,
Satana.
it's Hellstrom.
Hellstrom.
And she like runs the fucking corporation, and like the mom's in a mental institution.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Did I end up watching all of that?
No, we only watched like 2 episodes of it. At least we tapped out at like the diner. I was like, okay.
I feel like I watched more of it, but then again, it wasn't like.
I mean, we never even finished Doom Patrol.
That's true. We didn't finish Doom Patrol. We really should.
We should, because apparently it's very funny.
Yeah. Apparently, I mean, it's Doom Patrol. It's weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
Brendan Fraser is fucking Robot Man. I mean, that's a great deal. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we got to protect him at all costs.
Yes. So yeah, but we watched that, and the other thing, I guess we talk about real quick is House of Gucci.
Yes, I'm not even going to attempt to do an accent.
Or cat sneezing.
Gross. She just sneezed on my arm. Ew. Yeah, we went to see House of Gucci because, of course, I was going to see House of Gucci. You were promising me, and I was actually disappointed. This is a movie that I am seeing based solely on clothing, much like Cruella. Right? I'm like, you're going to give me fashion. I am here for fashion. And they kind of gave it all away in the trailer. There was nothing fantastic about it, which was sad. Everybody in that movie was doing a very different accent.
Yeah.
Jeremy Irons literally just gave up on it after his first scene. He was just like, I'm British now.
Fuck it.
And then, like, Jared Leto, like, Lady Gaga, honest to God, sounds Russian. She, honest to God, sounds Russian. But that even wasn't bad. What was the worst part is Jared Leto. Because he literally sounded like, it's me, Mario, it's me, Jared Leto. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
They need to get him to be Super Mario.
I was like,
if they were casting this movie now, you need him. I don't know.
Every single time he showed up on screen, I was like, what is he doing?
Yeah.
No one stopped this man from doing what he did in this movie.
He should have been walking around with a plate of spaghetti
honest to God,
and a plunger.
He should have just been doing the hand thing, like just fucking wrapped to the Italian flag. Just, it's a mia Mario pasta. Oh, spaghetti, ravioli, cannoli. Like, I was like, I am so offended right now just for my people. It was just so bad.
It'd be funny at the end of the movie, they just go at the, instead of him, whatever, because he was.
Some actual Italian punches Jared Leto in the throat. Yeah, I'd appreciate that too.
No, it was the idea, because they have like, that tells you like what happens to everybody and stuff. And he plays the.
Paolo Gucci. He's like a cousin.
He's a cousin
of Adam Driver's character.
Right, because it's Jeremy Irons and Al Pacino are like the brothers Gucci.
Yeah.
And Jared Leto's is Al Pacino's son.
Very funny though, because every single time Al Pacino's just like, my son's stupid. And you're like, yeah, you're really.
I was like, yeah, he's pretty.
Yeah.
Because he walks in, he's like, hey, look at my designs.
That's right.
I'm an artist. Look at me.
Oh, God. It's just, I'm like, what is happening? And not only that, but I was just like, I mean, I don't know Lady Gaga's family history, but I know this woman is Italian. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I have literal people in my family, like, who came over on a fucking boat and they all have accents. Not one of them sounds the way Lady Gaga does. And I'm like, honey, do you not know any fucking Italians? And I know you do. To hear what they sound like.
She doesn't talk to them anymore.
Apparently not. She's rich now. I was like, but didn't you, like, your dad owns a restaurant. You didn't have anybody you could talk to?
No, she's still talking to me. She talks to, like, Beyonce and who was that dude, that actor she was dating?
Whatever. I don't know.
I don't know.
Sure. I was just like,
Bradley Cooper. She talks to Bradley Cooper.
He's like,
how does Italian sound? He's like,
she's like, I don't even remember anymore. But she sounded Russian. Everybody in this movie is apparently from the same region of Italy, and they just sound like they're from completely different countries. Every fucking one of them.
No, I was trying to say though, at the end of the movie, when they showed what happened to him, what happens to Jared Leto, to Paulo.
Yeah.
Because he's at the end, it's like he died in poverty.
That's right. He died in poverty.
Instead, should have said he went to the Mushroom Kingdom.
He did. He went down a warp pipe.
They just show Jared Leto going down a pipe.
Oh my God, I would love it if he just jumped. He goes,
just slowly try to climb into a giant pipe.
Yes. And all the
I need to get this pipe.
I'm surprised he didn't just like it just shows him jumping in the pipe, and then all of a sudden it's like do 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 do. And then he gets like hit by a fireball, like from Koopa, and then it's like do 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 do. No, I'm surprised he didn't do cocaine, and then all of a sudden, like all the music sped up around him, like at the star.
Okay, here's my pitch. Jared Leto, at the end of the movie, instead of dying from poverty, he goes into a pipe, and then he ends up in the Super Mario movie that comes out next year.
Yeah.
Secret Mario prequel.
Secret. You know what? Great movie. Best movie.
I would be like, holy shit, that movie was a secret.
I'm like, how do you not put him in a fucking pair of overalls at this point? Like, he sounds so ridiculous.
I mean, honestly, I can't. Chris Pratt ain't gonna do any better.
Oh no.
He's just. It's gonna be laughable because I'm gonna be like, you should have got fucking Morbius to do it.
Should have got Jared Leto.
Because at
least it would have been funny. You know what I mean?
Anyways, I went because you wanted to go.
Of course.
But I'm okay with that. Because you know what? I need to diversify.
Yeah.
And I was excited because they showed a trailer for a fucking movie with Owen Wilson.
Oh, that's right. I had seen this trailer.
That was a trailer surprise for me. Because it's...
I didn't know you would be so delighted by this movie.
Oh, I'm not delighted by it. I was shocked by it. Because I was like, are you serious?
It is a romance novel come to life. It's called Marry Me.
I go, not the ones you read.
It's very tropey.
Oh, okay.
This is a perfect romance novel setup.
It's like a Hallmark movie.
It is 100%, but it's starring Jennifer Lopez and Owen Wilson.
The most expensive Hallmark movie ever.
So it's Jennifer Lopez is a singer, and she's supposed to marry some guy in front of all these people and also on TV in this insane wedding dress. And right before she goes on stage, she finds out that the guy she's supposed to marry has been cheating with her assistant. Well, Owen Wilson is there with
Sarah Silverman.
Sarah Silverman and his daughter at this show. And like, for some reason, Sarah Silverman's like, here, hold this sign that says marry me. And so Jennifer Lopez comes out and she's like, all sad. She's like, yes, I will marry you. So apparently her and Owen Wilson get married like legally on stage.
You know what Owen Wilson said? Owen Wilson said, wow.
He did say wow. He's like, sure.
Wow.
And then
they try to offer him $5,000.
I am sorry. That is an insult to everybody. Then they were like, let's make this all go away. I mean, this is all in the trailer. It's the whole fucking movie in the trailer. But they were like, let's give this guy $5,000 so he'll go away. And I was like, Jennifer Lopez in the movie, her character is a fucking millionaire and you're going to give him $5,000? I am offended for him.
That's like somebody went just like, I guess that's an amount of money.
I'm like, you can't even give him $100K? Like, come on, that sounds a little bit more reasonable.
Yeah, 4 figures is not
$5,000. I'm like, what is this, 1972?
Just give him an Arby's coupon for Christ's sake.
I mean, that's basically what it is. I'm like, I am offended for this character.
Here's a $5 gift card to Dunkin' Donuts.
Yes, and of course, what's going to happen is they're going to fall in love.
Oh, of course.
And that is going to be the movie. And it is going to be very dumb. But it is a romantic comedy, which we have not had in a very long time.
That's true.
So,
we don't do those very often.
Yeah, it's going to be dumb as shit, but it might be fun. Kind of like I just watched A Castle for Christmas with Brooke Shields and oh shit, what's his name? The guy who plays Wesley in The Princess Bride.
Cary Yules?
Yes.
Yules?
He plays a Scottish Duke.
When does this movie come out?
What?
When did this movie come out?
Oh, this is on Netflix.
Yeah, but when did it come out?
Oh, a week ago?
No, like it's a brand new movie?
Brand new.
With Brooke Shields?
Yes.
In 2021?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yes.
Okay.
She plays a writer whose book bombs, and I'm like, okay. And so she's all upset. And so she's like, she goes back to like the castle her dad worked at as a kid in Scotland. And then she's like, you know what? This castle's
Is she Scottish?
Her dad is Scottish, so yes.
So, but does she have?
No.
No.
It's like her dad was Scottish. She's passed away, but she was born in America. You know.
Okay. I thought she would have
No, so she's got like a daughter or whatever, and like her husband left her, so he's off. Whatever.
And her book failed.
But she has by the way, 13 other extremely successful books. So it's not like this woman's hurting. She's just upset because her book failed. So she like goes to Scotland to like see this castle. And then she's like, you know what? This castle's for sale. I'm rich. I'm going to buy this castle. And then Corey is like, he's like, but I live.
J.K. Rowling?
Yeah, basically. He's like, but I live in this castle. And I'm going to chase you away from it so I can keep all of your money. And I won't be destitute. No. It's just he's a broke ass duke living in this castle. He's like basically a duke in title only. He has no money.
And he's just been squatting in a castle.
No, he lives there.
Oh.
But he's like, I have to sell it.
He has to. I thought it was
he has to sell it so he can like pay the debts that his dad left him in or whatever. But they're like in their 50s, you know, it's Brooke Shields and what's his face. They're in their 50s at this point. But then like, of course, they fall in love and they have a big Christmas celebration. And there's a dog actor who's very cute. He dances like literally on his hind legs, this dog.
For some reason, I also imagined a guy, like, it was like a BoJack Horseman, like, dog actor.
I mean, pretty much. Because this dog literally, like, steals one of Brooke Shields' shoes
Just
and,
the
like...
peanut butter?
Yeah, and initiates sex. Like, he...
Wait, the dog?
Yeah, because what he does is he steals Brooke Shields' shoes, because you know she's wearing flats this whole fucking movie, because she's tall, right? So she's all in flats this whole movie, which, as a tall woman, I relate to. So she, like, runs down the hallway, and what's-his-face opens the door, and he's like... What are you doing? And she's like in this like fancy dress, but like kind of nothing but a tank top. She's like, I was just trying on this dress. And he was like, now we should have sex. And she's like, we totally should have sex. And then they have sex.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right. At any point, does Carrie Yules get chained up to a bathroom?
No.
Oh, that's a bummer.
No. It is a bummer. I don't think he even falls down, which is also a bummer.
Oh, that's true. As you wish.
Brooke Shields does trip and fall into him, though.
Yeah, I can see that.
Trope number, 4.
Brooke Shields in the 90s was falling down places.
Oh, that's what you do in romantic comedy.
Well, she was
in
on that show on NBC, the Suddenly Susan.
Oh shit, I forgot about that.
I used to watch that because it was
I've never watched it.
Because it was on after, or it was on after Fresh Prince, I think.
Yeah, I remember the show. I never watched it.
I think Andy Dick used to be on that show.
Probably. That sounds right.
Yeah. Or no, not Andy Dick. It was a different Andy Dick. It was a different actor.
I totally forgot that she did that show.
Yeah, she was like a sitcom, so she would fall down because it was like, ah.
That's what you do in a sitcom. You fall down.
Yeah. But okay.
Yeah. Yep. Romantic comedies.
Romantic comedies. Oh, and the other thing I want to talk about, because we're already 40 minutes in.
Yeah, might as well.
But Moonfall.
I look so dumb.
Well, it's even dumber than I thought.
It's even dumber than I thought.
Because, the premise of if you've probably seen this trailer already, it's the moon comes to Earth because it somehow falls out of orbit.
And crashes into us.
And Patrick Wilson and Halle Berry have to figure it out.
You can't figure it out. We're all dead.
Oh, we're fucked.
There's literally... If the moon falls out of orbit, even if it shoots off into space, we are fucked.
Uh-huh.
It controls the tides. I don't know what it means if it goes away. Does that mean the tides stop and it just stagnates?
Ew.
That's disgusting. But anyway, so the moon's like, I'm thinking, seeing this trailer, the first one is, it just falls out of orbit and crashes into Earth and we're all fucking dead. But then you watch the second trailer and it's like the moon has perhaps sentient alien goo on it. That's kind of like the black oil from the X-Files.
Uh-huh.
But also it is a mechanical structure. Mm-hmm. It's like metal. And Patrick, what's his face, goes in the moon.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is very stupid.
It's very stupid, and it's a Roland Emmerich movie, so
yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
But you can't tell me that this movie has to end with the world.
It has to. We're all dead.
Ending.
It has to.
There's no. You can't come back from this.
They're also literally one point in this trailer, they were just like, evacuate the entire West Coast. Everybody go to and I'm like, for literally what purpose? There's nowhere safe. If the moon falls into Earth, there's literally not going to be a safe place. I don't know why we're evacuating anything.
Yeah, we're
all fucked. We will all die. A little, not little, but much smaller than the moon asteroid killed all of the dinosaurs on the planet. And you're going to tell me that the literal moon falling into us is only going to kill the West Coast? Give me a break.
Oh, the West Coast. The punching bag of the world.
It's a dumb movie.
Oh, I can't even.
But you're gonna watch it.
I kind of really want to see it.
Well, we will go see it whenever it comes out. I have no idea when.
Moon wobble.
The moon fall or whatever the fuck it's called.
Oh, Christ. Anyways, let's take a break and we'll come back with a book for this week.
It is a time of chivalry and adventure. It is a world of magic and legends. It is a story of...
Are we there yet?
For the 20th time, no.
These two.
What are we going after again?
A dragon.
Are you sure? I thought it was a giant.
That's the beauty. It hasn't been decided yet. Queen of the Nights is a new production from Azir Voices, where you, the listener, choose what happens. Go to azirvoices.com. That's AESIR voices.com for all the details.
Ooh, a kitty!
Did that cat just breathe fire?
All right, we're back here in Worst Collection Ever with our book for this week. It is Batman, number 389 from November 1985. And the reason why we're doing this, we're actually doing the. So this is one of our episodes that has kind of a caveat because this book is on the DC app. It's not technically a part of our collection.
Oh, I see.
However, I could see us buying this.
Yeah.
I could see you buying this.
I probably would. I might actually even have it in some sort of collection, to be honest with you, but maybe.
Right.
Maybe.
So the reason why I came across this, though, is because I have rediscovered the DC app after kind of not really like doing anything with it for like a while. But I got a new iPad.
Yes, you did.
And the new iPad is, makes it a lot easier for me to, it's got more space on it. So I can actually like enjoy things on this iPad. And so I was like, I'll start. So at one point I did start reading. I said to myself, I'm going to read the entirety of Crisis on Infinite Earths. And not just Crisis on Infinite Earths, but I'm going to read, because I found it online, the reading order for the entirety of all the pre-crisis appearances of the Monitor leading up to Crisis. And then you read Crisis, but then you also read all the books in between that come out. And then you kind of read them in a certain order. So it makes more sense. So it's basically just like a big compendium of reading, because there's like a big Crisis omnibus out there, and it's basically just like reading that. But you don't have a giant book; you can actually just read it online. And I started doing that, and then I kind of fell off. But then I was like, well, I got this new iPad. I'm going to start reading, some comics again. And I picked up where I left off, and I came across this comic, which is a Crisis crossover, technically. Because on the cover here, we have Batman standing over a fat gargoyle. And behind him is the Night Killer. Wait, is it the Night Killer?
Wait, let me see. The Night Killer?
The guy in the background.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know who that guy was, so sure.
Night Slayer.
Oh, Night Slayer.
Night Killer, I think, is like a shitty movie. Night Slayer, and in the cloud, in the rain or whatever, you got Catwoman, and I believe this is Nocturna looking down on him. And Batman is in red.
Yes.
Because
the sky is red.
Because of Crisis.
And it is also raining red. Liquid?
This is the thing.
Because they keep saying red rain, and I was like, but is it red because of the sky? Is it red because it's actually red rain?
That's what I'm trying. That's the thing I have a hard time understanding, because I've read all of this Crisis, and it's a big thing where it's like, oh my god, look at the rain outside, or look at the red sky, and it's raining, or whatever. And people generally are kind of no-selling it.
Yeah.
Like pretty hard, which is fucked up, because if the sky was red and it was raining red water of some sort,
right?
I'd be
people are just like, whatever. But I kind of feel like that's what happened when like all that smoke came and turned San Francisco bright orange. And everybody was just like, what do you do?
But I believe
you just deal with this fucking nightmare that we live in.
Yeah, I guess.
Sell it.
That's the good point, because there's people being like, well, we live in California and there's trees nearby.
And we're on fire. Yeah.
R.I.P. the world.
R.I.P. us.
And
we're so fucked.
So that's what's going on here. I put sad women in the rain, because they kind of have this look like Catwoman's kind of like staring down at him like,
Well, I mean, she's giving him a stank face because he deserves it.
Yeah.
As we see later on in this book, because I don't want to talk about it. We'll talk about it when we get there.
Yeah.
And then Nocturna's just like there.
Yeah.
But she's also sad because she's Nocturna.
Yeah, because she's a goth lady.
Yeah.
So we start off though with Batman. He is in Commissioner Gordon's office. There are humongous shadows in this room, like laughably big shadows.
Yes, this is there's also this like, well, it leads into like 2/3 of the way through the book, there's this thing with like all of a sudden you'll just see a stalactite or
Right.
mite. I don't remember which one is
okay,
which. Stalactite.
I thought there was a
It was at the top.
Is it I thought stalactite is from the top,
I thought so. And
Stalagmite
stalagmite is from the bottom.
from the bottom. I think they get it mixed up in this book,
I think they do too. Okay.
so we didn't do the research.
We actually did for once.
Well, I didn't actually research. I just know. I'm just like, I think I know what I'm talking about here. So Batman's in Gordon's office, and Gordon is like, "Yo, I got this golden cat. That means Catwoman's back in town." Mm-hmm. And there's been like these murders going on. What is it? What are they called? The No Face Gang or something?
Yeah, the Many Faces Gang, maybe
Something about faces.
Yeah.
I forgot what it is, but they're running around and they're not like they wear masks.
Yes.
But these people these criminals are being murdered, and she's back in town. Catwoman's back in town, and Gordon's like, "Yo, this is a sweet statue, but I think Catwoman's here and she's killing dudes." Because at one point they mentioned that they found one of these people killed with a stiletto. Mm-hmm. I put, maybe it's RuPaul. I try to think of somebody who wears high-heeled shoes.
I mean, RuPaul definitely does wear high-heeled shoes, and she would kill you with a high heel.
I can see that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they think it's Catwoman, or they're starting to suspect it's Catwoman or something like that. But I also was thinking that this statue that he has, I was like, maybe Catwoman just wrote a note that says, "I will steal this back from you. You can't have it." So, but there's like political shit going on here. And this is where we see with Catwoman, she's chasing after some crook in a Frankenstein costume, and then she turns the corner of an alley and he's dead.
Yeah.
So now we're talking about with Vicky Vale here. Vicky Vale.
Yeah, I don't know what is going on with Vicky Vale.
I'll say this. I always thought Vicky Vale was was just a movie character, but she's not. She's obviously here.
Yeah, no, she's here. I don't know. I had a different image of her in my head. Like,
well, she was like Kim Basinger.
Right, but kind of here she doesn't.
No.
She's also kind of like a really angry ball buster.
Yeah, because they're at
But I guess she's pissed off at Bruce Wayne, and you know what? Fair.
Yeah. So she's talking to like one of her coworkers because they're at this she works at a news department or whatever, or a news magazine.
Yes.
And she's talking to her person, and she's like, "Oh, blah blah blah." Basically the same stuff that Gordon and Batman were talking about.
Yeah.
And her assistant's like, "Hey, you're looking pretty swole."
Yeah, you've been going to that spa.
Yeah, she went to Death Spa.
She 100% went to Death Spa. That's exactly what I thought of when I saw that.
That's what I was thinking. She went to a place that has automated machines, and those machines will kill her one day.
Yeah, yeah.
So because she's sitting at a desk and she's like showing off her legs, and her assistant's like, "Whoa, check out those gams." And she's like, she's like, "Thanks, glad you noticed. At least somebody did." As she throws a dart at a picture of Bruce Wayne,
Right?
Because apparently her and Bruce Wayne got heat.
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming they had a shitty, like a falling out of their relationship.
And then Gordon and Bullock dressed like the fucking Riddler for some reason. He's wearing like a green jacket and like purple pants.
And there's so they are standing at basically what is do you remember The Crow?
I don't remember what you're talking. I know the movie, but I don't know what you're talking about.
In The Crow, there is a hot dog stand that what's his face?
The Crow?
Nope. The cop.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh my god, I want to say it's like Ernie Hudson.
Podcast.
Yeah, no, it is him. It is. I'm almost positive he's in this movie, in The Crow.
Well, Ernie Hudson's in some stuff I like.
It is Ernie Hudson. So in The Crow, there is this hot dog stand. There's a guy who runs it. There's a cat that sits on it, and Ernie Hudson and the girl who was like friends with Eric Draven or Bruce or Brandon Lee's character. They meet there to eat hot dogs at this stand. Mm-hmm. And it's always raining and it's always shitty, but this is exactly what it looks like. Mm-hmm. And that's all I could think of.
It's my new favorite hot dog stand.
It's absolutely.
And Bullock is like a true Northeaster,
Yeah,
drowning something in ketchup.
as you should.
As somebody who puts ketchup on eggs and enjoys it very much.
Yeah.
He is trying to get the ketchup out of the bottle, and he spills it everywhere. And the guy is like, the cook is like, "Hey, the sky's red. Why are you doing this to my counter?" Also, why is he about to sound like Jared Leto?
Right.
I'm in this movie too. Or I'm in this book too. I'm the Joker. At one point in that movie, the Joker and Alfred have a talk to each other.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Sean was very excited by that.
And then Darth, what's his face? Why can't I think of what his name is in Adam Driver?
Yes.
In the Star Wars.
Yes.
Oh, Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
Kylo Ren's there too. So, anyways, he makes a mess, and they're talking about again. Everybody's talking about the same stuff.
Yeah, the red rain and is it pollution?
But also the corrupt mayor
Yes.
and whatever, because he's Gordon's trying to do right by things, and the mayor is like, no, be corrupt, and Bullock's like, I want a hot dog.
Yeah.
He somehow manages to get nothing on the hot dog and everything on his hands. That's a Sean Merrick move.
Oh yeah.
Now we're at the Gotham Observatory, and there's a balloon with a moon on it, a hot air balloon with a moon on it approaching, which because it's Nocturna, for supervillain transportation, it's kind of one of my least expected ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you figure she would just walk
I'm not
in
really
there.
sure what's going on with Nocturna.
Well,
Have we gotten to the part where like Jason has a phone call?
No, we'll get there.
Okay, I have some thoughts. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, there's a whole thing we'll talk about when we get there. But so this thing's approaching, and there's these like the gang from Return of the Living Dead's in this place, in this observatory, and they're spray painting the savage skulls or whatever. And the thing opens, and these gang members start running, except for this one dude with purple hair. Looks like Beavis with purple hair, because they're like, oh my god, it's a ghost, and he's like, no, it's some crazy broad. Yeah. Well, I do like this one guy. It's like, oh, the red skies, man. It's the end of the world, and the dead rising up from the grave. I mean, might as well go for it all,
I mean, at that point.
So this thug, though, tries to stab her, and she kicks him.
Yeah, the way that she's drawn kicking this guy is so funny, because she looks like she's smiling. Like, she has that, like, Mona Lisa smile through this whole comic book where she's just, like, kind of like, hey, you know what I mean? And then her leg, like a Barbie leg, just, like, fucking hinges and just whacks this dude in the fucking face.
It reminds me of when you're playing Street Fighter as like Ken or like Ryu, and like they have a kick that goes like basically straight up and down.
Yeah,
that's basically what she's doing here, just kicking this dude in the face. How she manages to get her leg up, because she's standing like right next to him,
right? But
she manages to kick him in the face, or kick the thing out of his hand, kick the knife out of his hand, and then I think she literally kicks him in the ass. At one point.
Yeah. Oh, she absolutely does.
Literally kicks him in the ass, and they scatter. And this is where Jason, who is Jason Todd, who is Robin at this time, he is not dead yet. He is talking on the phone with like, I guess, a social worker.
Yeah, this is like, there's like an adoption social worker.
Yeah, it's the Gotham Child Welfare Bureau.
And so this part started to really confuse me. Now, this is what, leading up to Crisis?
Yeah, we're in Crisis.
We're in Crisis.
We just started it.
So Jason Todd is sitting in his room in Wayne Manor being like, Bruce is really great, but like, he's not a lady, and I miss my mom. And he's looking at a picture that says the Flying Todds. And I was like, wait.
Yeah.
Because wasn't Jason Todd some like street urchin who like Batman found trying to steal fucking hubcaps off the Batmobile? I'm like, or is that post-crisis? Was he also an acrobat whose parents died? I'm like, are we really doing that twice?
Yeah, that's I don't
remember
that detail, but it does make sense.
I don't remember that, but I don't know a ton about Jason Todd. I'm like, did I miss that that's his original origin? Because that's just lazy. That's just dumb.
The one thing I remember about Jason Todd is that he was beaten up by the Joker, and everybody
everybody voted for him to die.
Everybody wanted him to die, and so he did.
The other thing I was thinking of, I was like, did he just like find one of Dick's old pictures that has the flying graces
and put
Todd and like pasted his face in there to be like, I had a family too.
He's like he puts his face on there, and he puts like Bruce's face on the father, and he puts like a question mark on the mom.
No, apparently he put Nocturna.
Oh,
as we see at the end of this thing.
Right.
Which I'm like, was it, or is he just like so desperate for like he wants to join the mother son? What is it? In Arrested Development, what is it?
The Mother Boy?
He wants to join the Mother Boy pageant like so badly. He's like, any woman will do.
Batman doesn't have, Bruce Wayne doesn't have breasts.
I mean,
Bruce Wayne and Jason Todd in Mother Boy.
We could get Bruce Wayne one of those like breastplates that drag queens wear. And then he's got titties.
He's just got like a really bad wig. He's like, I'm a lady now. I can be your mother.
You know what? If this was the 60s and the 60s was different, it would just be like, and now we're going to go undercover at the Mother Boy pageant.
Oh, they totally going to Mother Boy pageant. Good Lord.
I would read the fuck out of that book.
That would be like one of those comics you see on a list of like the most outrageous things that ever happened to Batman.
It would just be Batman wearing his cowl, but like a dress.
So, I don't know if this is true, but I watch Wrestling with Regret. Brian Zane. He has every other week he does a super like a classic pay-per-view review, and he was doing Starrcade 1985, and there's a match in there where it's the Midnight Express versus Boogie Woogie Jimmy Valiant and Miss Atlanta Lively. Miss Atlanta Lively is just Ronnie Garvin in drag.
Okay.
So Ronnie Garvin, if you've just
dead.
No, alive.
Oh, good.
If you're a wrestling fan, you know who Ronnie Garvin is. If you look him up, he looks like Barney Rubble. Legitimately looks like, back in his heyday, he looked like Barney Rubble. He was known for punching people in the face. But apparently, and the way that Brian presented it is that he also enjoyed dressing up in drag sometimes.
Sweet.
He would dress up in drag, and that was just the thing he enjoyed doing.
Or
maybe he enjoyed doing. I don't know. Just the way that Brian presented it, it made it sound like it was just a thing. It's like, oh yeah, he also liked to dress up in drag, and I was like, that is something I did not know, and I know everything about wrestling.
That is true. You do,
and I feel like I knew enough about Ronnie Garvin that I would be able to stand stand pretty tall.
You'd be able to answer that.
Yeah, answer that question. I was not aware of that.
Neat.
And you're saying he does not make a pretty lady.
Sometimes that's not really what it's about. If you watch Dragula, that's definitely not what it's about. It's not about female illusion.
Well, it's also another thing too, where he dressed up like this thing. He dressed up like Miss Atlanta Lively at this pay-per-view. But then, like in like '87, they did an angle like where his brother Jimmy Garvin was wrestling like Ric Flair, and Ric Flair was like trying to hook up with Jimmy's wife, who's was like this blonde lady. They did this angle where Ric Flair was supposed to meet Jimmy's wife in the hotel, but it was just Ronnie Garvin dressed in drag. He just and he just punches Ric Flair. It's crazy.
That's really funny.
It's crazy. It's not crazy that he does it. It's crazy that I know this now.
Right.
Because I was like, I thought I knew everything about Ronnie Garvin.
You do not.
But I guess I did not.
No.
So I am enlightened today.
Yeah.
Anyways, Bruce Wayne, he takes a trip in his purple car.
Mm-hmm. Is this the one where he's like, the only thing I've ever failed at as a man is my relationships with women.
Yep.
And I'm like, give me a fucking break, Bruce.
Like, that's the only thing?
Exactly. That's the only thing. How about mental health? The fact that you dress up like a fucking bat to go beat up poor people, that might be a failure.
Did you beat up criminals within an inch of their life and expect them to receive justice?
Yeah, I mean, but this is also like more in touch with his feelings, Batman, because this is, Crisis.
I guess, the Red Rain is being like,
well, because
the blood
if you read a lot of these earlier Batmans, he does do a lot of this like thinking internally, like thinking about like, oh, his relationships or if he's doing the right thing or blah, 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 which he does not do as we get, especially like deeper into the 90s, 2000s, even now, like he doesn't think about this shit. So.
No, he ain't in touch with his...
Yeah. He wants to go punch.
Side.
He doesn't want to think.
No, so he
Even
goes...
though he's supposed to be the world's greatest detective.
He goes into the gym and...
Death spa.
Goes into the death spa.
It is 100% death spa.
He goes into death, and it's even funny if like Vicky Vale is hiding behind a chair and like pretending like he couldn't see her.
That's right. I love that scene. It's so dumb because like literally like there's a guy trying to he's trying to break in or steal something from an office. And like he's in the office and the door opens, the light shines on him and he just walks 2 steps behind a chair and someone comes in and goes, oh, nobody in here, and like leaves. And you're like, he saw you. You couldn't do another take.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's funny about this is Vicky Vale's very upset. She's lifting weights.
I don't know what happened between them.
I'm assuming it's a bad breakup.
Uh-huh.
Bad breakup.
Well, no, this is... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. She's not happy with him. And she turns around and she's lifting weights, like hand weights. She turns around and throws them at him.
Yeah. Looks like he throws one at his dick.
I thought honestly it hit his kneecap there, and I was like, that would break your kneecap.
Yeah.
Batman or not.
Yeah, that would shatter a patella.
It absolutely would.
Well, he does a thing where he comes in and she's like, get lost, Bruce, and she throws the weights at him, and he's like, but I was gonna break up with you. Like he's gonna pull like a George Costanza. It's like, it's not me, or it's not you, it's me.
There was shrinkage.
and then there was shrinkage. So this is where Catwoman finds another dead guy.
Yes, and she's like, everybody's gonna think I murdered this dead guy, and Batman like appears behind her and he's like, I know you didn't murder the dead guy.
Yeah, and then we kind of,
and she's like, cool, and he's like, you want to come with me?
Yeah, well, we don't get right to that.
Yeah,
because this is where we meet the security guard. He's like,
oh yeah, the security guard.
The security guard's like, he's a security guard in the observatory. He's like, oh, looks like some gang members are here. And then the Nocturna's like, yo, and she's like,
and she like drops like some
potion,
which I'm assuming is some sort of like gas that makes him do whatever she wants. But he's like, she's so beautiful.
He goes, you are so pale and so beautiful. Yes, you are.
That's what you got to say to me.
Yeah. Susie from Susie and the Banshees. You are so pale and so beautiful. I don't know. Robert Smith, you're so pale, so beautiful. Anyway, so this is where Batman he hops in a car with Catwoman. He's like, "Hey, come to this cave with me."
Yeah, I got to take you to a cave here. Wear this blindfold.
Oh, that's right. He does blindfold her.
Oh, all the time. Whenever he's going to take somebody to a fucking bat cave. So he's like, I'm really glad you consented to this bat cave or to the blindfold. I want to show you something. So he walks her through the cave, and he's like, look, here's this stalagmite that is shaped like a cat. And a lot of times I come and I stare at it and I think about you.
But he's also like, and then you see above it, there's a stalactite.
And then one day,
or whatever it is, stalagmite.
They're gonna join, but not in this life. And so she's like, "Are you telling me we were never gonna get together?" And he's like,
"Kind of."
Yeah. And I'm just like throwing Sean's iPad across the room because I cannot take any more of this. Two people who are so perfect for each other, but they're just not gonna be together because dumb reasons. I have enough of it in the Batman. I've got enough of it in the Law and Order. I can't take it anymore.
Yeah, it's I can imagine this being pretty hard on you.
It is very hard on me. Just people fucking kiss and fuck. Can you just do that for me? Okay. Characters I like. Can you just kiss and then do the fucking? And then I'm happy.
So yeah, he tells her that, and she's like, all right, you showed me this stupid cat. Put the blindfold back on.
Yeah, take me the fuck out of here, you stupid douchebag.
And then so we get another person that gets killed. Another guy.
Mask guy.
And
there's also like, is this where we see the mask getting nailed?
Yeah.
So the person who is the what's his name?
Night Slayer.
Night Slayer. he's nailing all these masks to like doors and trees and stuff. It looks like he's doing it with a rock.
He is doing it with a rock.
Couldn't he use a hammer? It'd be so much easier.
No, because he only packed a knife.
Oh, packing light.
Packing light. He's like,
Yeah.
I was like, I could take the hammer too, but I guess I'll just. I mean,
He's just.
I have nails.
I was gonna say he's me when I'm too lazy to get up and get a hammer when I'm putting up the decorations outside. When I have to like nail fucking hammer the stake into the ground, and I'm just like trying to do it with like the heel of my shoe, and it inevitably breaks.
Yeah. So this is where Batman takes her back to an alley, and he's just
So
like,
romantic.
and he's like, okay.
And then he's like trying to tell her like, don't be a vigilante, and she's like, but you're a vigilante, and he's like, yeah, and she's like, so are you saying that like I can't be a vigilante? He's like, no, I didn't say that, and he's like, so are you saying that like there's something wrong with the way I'm doing it? He's like, no. He's like, oh, I'm not as good as you, and he's like, no, that's not. And then she's like, how about you fuck yourself? And then she leaves.
Yeah, she runs into the alley, and they say,
And he's like, I don't understand women.
yeah, this is my only failing in life.
Ugh, just fuck, Jesus Christ.
She runs into the alley, and she has a cry. It says,
I don't blame her.
yeah.
You know what? If Taylor Swift's All Too Well existed at this time, I hope she plays it over and over again.
Yeah.
Play Better Man by Taylor Swift.
Now we're at Jason's school, and he's hanging out with a bunch of his.
It's like such a regular ass school.
yeah, I figured he would go to like a nice like private school.
Maybe that's like an event, like a more recent adventure, but like Tim goes to like the fanciest fucking school.
Yeah,
Like when he's in school, like Bruce sends him to like the nicest fucking school you can find.
no,
And he wears like a fucking uniform and shit.
yeah. Jason doesn't get shit.
Yeah.
No wonder he's bitter. I mean, he did die, but
He did die. That is correct.
no wonder he's angry.
Yeah, but you know, it's comic book. He's come back.
Yeah, so he's talking to his little shit boyfriends.
Uh-huh.
And
These guys suck too. One of them's like, "Oh, I've got like my brother hangs out with those stupid guys who went up to the
observatory,
observatory. They have like a gang in quotes name.
the Savage Skulls.
Yeah, fuck off." And and he's like, he saw this crazy pale lady up there. He says it's a ghost or something. And Jason Todd's like, "Oh man, I have to go there."
Yeah, because he's like, oh my god, I think that's Nocturna or Natalia.
Yeah.
So I do like this one kid though. Is like they're talking like 20s gangsters. Is like, yeah, look at this dame here. She's a real fox.
And is this the part too where then we go back to like Bullock getting the call from the janitor or the security guard's wife?
Yeah, Bullock again. Green plaid jacket, purple pants, purple tie,
Yeah.
purple hat.
Yep. I kind of love Harvey Bullock. And I don't know if that's just because I just really like Donald Logue playing him in Gotham.
Donald Logue should have worn this.
Yeah, he should have.
You
know what? He would have fucking pulled that off.
He would. I would totally be like, this is completely plausible. Him just running around after a flaming bus of nuns, which is something I believe happens in that show.
It
that
does.
happens in that show.
100%. Yes, there is a burning bus of nuns. You're correct.
Dumb show. Just running around, but he's got a purple hat.
Yep. I could see it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he goes and talks to this. Tracks a lot of water into this woman's house.
Oh my God, the mess this man was making. Because she like calls him and he like tracks in. He just makes a huge mess. And she's just like, you don't understand. My husband went to work and now he's like shut up in his office or in the bedroom all day. He won't sleep and he just keeps writing this.
He's in an old man goth phase.
He 100%.
And he keeps writing. You know, he writes down. She shows him this letter, and it just says like, Nocturna is my mistress. She is the best. I love her.
It's just over. And she's like, he wrote 500 pages of it. And I'm like, man.
So because Bullock's like, it's like your wife, he deserted you. We can't do anything about that. And she's like, no, check this out.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, okay.
He's like, oh no, I get it. And so Bullock too is like, I got to go to the observatory.
Right. Well, we get the security guard and Nocturna talking, and she's like, he's like, I brought you some sandwiches, and she's like, get lost.
Yeah. I don't
He's
want
like,
your
but I loves you.
I don't want your sandwiches. She's like, go away, go back to your wife. He's like, never. No, I love you, Nocturna.
I enjoy him saying, because she goes, you should return to your wife. And he's like, never, Nocturna. She's read my novel.
I kind of feel like that's how I felt Like when I made you read my novel.
He's read my novel.
He'll never take me back. He's read my novel.
So then we get so Bullock and Robin are both headed to the observatory, and Bullock apparently walking through the Evil Dead forest.
Yeah, making a shit ton of noise as he goes.
So much noise, and like Robin just like gives him a reverse Frankensteiner. And they're like, all right, we should team up here because you're here. I'm gonna capture. Bulk's like, I'm gonna capture her, but I guess we'll try to figure out what's going on here. Nocturna calls to Robin, and he's up, and she goes up on the roof, and then we get another one where another instance where Night Slayer murders a dude.
Yeah.
Has a rock. Pounds
Uses
a nail.
it as a nail. Yeah. Uses it to nail a fucking mast to a tree or whatever.
No, he just nails it to a wall here.
Oh, it's a wall.
Because it's some guy like stealing from like a giant safe, and he's just like, haha, I killed you here. Which this Night Slayer is pretty efficient. He's just like finding these dudes. Like he kills like 4 people in this book.
Yeah, he does.
And he's looking for Nocturna. Nocturna, by the way, is his sister.
Bullet? No, Night Slayer.
Night Slayer.
Okay.
And so this is where
is he Jason's mom though? Or is Jason just confused?
I think Jason's confused. So
okay.
Apparently when Nocturna first came around, there was something going on. I read it and I don't really exactly remember what the deal was, but it was something about like a custody battle going on.
Okay.
And so Jason really, because maybe she like gassed him, or maybe she like got him to think, to fall for him.
Okay.
Or her to fall for her, whatever. I don't know. Or whatever. Think she's like to think that
she's mom.
She's his parent.
Right.
He goes up on the roof or on the ledge or whatever, and Nocturna is moonbathing or red sky bathing.
Yes.
And being all pale and stuff. She goes, sit with me, Jason. I'm cold and I'm disturbed.
I almost took a picture of that and was just like me, just constant me.
He sits next to her and she's like, oh, it's hell in the heavens, Jason. And he's like, yeah, but right now I like it, Mom. So that's it for Batman 389 from November 1985. You asked me why I picked this book.
I did ask you this because I was confused as to why. Because when I first read it, I didn't really feel there was anything there.
Yeah, and there still isn't.
Yeah.
But I thought this stuff with the Batman and Catwoman, because eventually what happens is
I can't take any more heartbreak.
Well, what happens is she's tracking. She's going around Catwoman's going around tracking down this killer or whatever, and eventually they all end up in this observatory. Like Batman's there, and then like there's like Catwoman gets like struck by lightning, and she ends up in the hospital. And there's this whole thing where Batman's in the hospital and just being like, talking to her, and he's like, we could never be together or whatever. Just basically like rubbing, basically like, but or telling her. Oh no, I'm sorry, he's not. He's telling her like we should be together, and Catwoman's like, kind of like, no, you just want to be with me because I'm in the hospital.
Right.
You feel sorry for me or something. It gets real messy. Batman was having a hard time during Crisis.
Yeah.
But it's all his own doing.
I was going to say, he tends to have a hard time all the time, and it's his own fucking fault.
Yeah. No, he's having some issues.
Yeah.
And but he had it coming.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he did. Fuck that guy.
I don't know. Do you want to keep reading?
I mean, if you've got it on the app, I'd probably.
They're all here.
Yeah, might as well. I mean, it's not like I got to go look for it. It's right there.
It's right here.
Which is helpful. And I do like the way that they do these apps where like you can touch just one panel and it blows it up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then when you touch like the side, it just goes to the next one.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Oh, yeah. Comicology does the same thing.
Yeah, it's really cool. I like how they do that. So it's like, you can look at it like a regular comic book, but you can also like go panel by panel.
I think the Marvel app does the same thing, but I feel the Marvel app is not as it's just not as good.
Right.
I remember had it for a while and I didn't like it. But the DC app is pretty good. I mean, there's still a bunch of stuff on there that I kind of wish was on there that, like I feel they're just making their way through all this stuff. Like there's all these old comics that they have to put on there and stuff, but yeah, it's pretty good. I definitely, I think I have to renew it like coming up here, and I'm like, I'll just renew it because it's worth it.
Yeah.
And for the amount of comics and stuff that you can read on there, and just, if you read, like, if you're reading the entirety of Crisis and all of its derivatives,
Right.
it's
so much easier than trying to hunt them all down, like by single issues or whatever.
or buying
even,
an omnibus,
or trying to find the omnibus.
Yeah. So, but there's also like all sorts of other stuff on there, like all these new comics, all these old crossovers. Like I'm into it. So, yeah, no, I'm down with it. And that's it for this week's show.
Yes. And I do want to mention something before we close out.
Oh, go ahead.
So Sean and I were recently interviewed by Denver's local magazine, 5280. And I didn't really know what the article was going to be.
I didn't either.
I thought it was going to be about worst collection ever, but it's kind of more just talking to us about comic, like, superheroes and villains.
Did you read it?
I read some of it. I haven't finished it. But I put it on our page. It's there. They illustrated our faces onto
bodies.
They gave me blue eyes. I'm like, I
don't know. I saw mine. I look like
you're like a Hulk guy?
I'm a flesh-colored Hulk.
Yeah, you're like a Hulk guy.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like a wasp, I guess, but without the wings. So yeah. So we got that. I put it on our page. You can read it.
I mean, I enjoyed talking.
It was fun. It was interesting. This is not.
I say this as I have not yet read the article.
Right.
But.
I read some of it, and one of them it was like, oh, Batman painted a room yellow as a joke for one of the lanterns. I'm like, I didn't say it was a joke, but that's okay.
Wait, what?
Yeah, because like one of the questions was like, what's the weirdest weakness? And my answer was,
for the Green Lanterns being yellow.
Green Lanterns used to be, vulnerable to the color yellow. Mm-hmm. And I was telling her about the time Batman in All-Star Batman and Robin painted a room yellow to fuck with the Green Lantern. I think it was Hal at the time. Even though it's fallen out of fashion and like All-Star Batman is basically Crazy Steve. Everybody calls him Crazy Steve because it's not really Batman. Uh-huh. But I didn't say he did it as a joke. He did it because he was an asshole. But it says in there as a joke, and I was like, I didn't say as a joke. At least I don't think I did. But you know what? That's okay. Batman, so I haven't finished it. So who knows what it has me saying in there.
Batman doesn't do it for the lulz.
Yeah, but you can tweet at me and tell me if I got something wrong. Yeah. Because I'm sure I got a lot wrong.
Yeah. So yeah, check that out. Yeah. We'll
it's on the page.
We'll probably talk about it. I think it's gonna be on the print edition too.
Well, we gotta buy it and check it out.
Yeah. So if you're in Denver, or if you have access to this magazine.
Yeah, I mean, you can go on 5280.com and actually buy a copy. I mean, if you really want it that badly, or you could just read it online. Yeah,
either one.
But maybe we should buy a couple copies.
Get it framed.
Yeah, get it framed. I could show it to my mom, but she won't care.
Hey, you know what? If you've read this article and you're new to the show, welcome.
Welcome. Hi.
I know we've said some pretty crazy things.
We swear a lot on the show.
Yeah.
Not suitable.
I don't know if that's
families.
anything that's I haven't read the article, so I don't know if that's mentioned in there that we have
No, because it's just like, we talked to the hosts of Worst Collection Ever about superheroes.
Oh. Okay.
It's like established that we're a thing.
Yeah, we are.
I don't think they really, at least I haven't read the whole thing. I can't tell you what they say. Because it literally, we just found it as we started recording, so we haven't had a chance to read it yet.
Anyways, thanks for listening, folks. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Angry Hero Sean.
I'm at Jen Stansfield on Twitter and Instagram. You can find the show on Facebook, Worst Collection Ever, and email the show, worstcollectionever@gmail.com.
And please rate and review the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and screw it, Pandora, if you are so inclined. I know I've done Pandora recently, but you can check us out there. And also check out my YouTube channel, Angry Hero 79. I am opening up action figures there. I gotta get back to actually post. Well, we didn't have it. Well, maybe I didn't do it last time, but I gotta get up to posting more stuff on there, like the clips from the show or whatever. And maybe I'll edit my other video I have for the action figure I bought.
Yeah,
and I will put that up because I just started doing things. Don't expect much from me. I don't know what you. What do you
Don't
want from me?
expect anything from me.
Yeah, don't depend on me for content. But also do depend on me for content.
Yeah.
Also, hell, if you want to find me on Pinterest,
That's right.
because I go in phases where like you introduce me to Pinterest, and basically it's like, hey, find pictures of things you like, and then you stick them on there on your boards, and I have like all these boards of like Marvel and DC characters and individual sections and all these things, and I like going on there and like organizing them so they're kind
You
of
put them in like alphabetical order or some shit.
Well, I try to group them in so like you got like portraits, and then you have the actual comic books that I save, and then you have like the trading cards. I try to group them all together, but things that you can't do that because everything's different sizes.
Oh.
So like it doesn't always look like it's supposed to, but I try to make it look like that way. So if you're on, I guess just search my name.
And don't you also have on Spotify where you did like the 120 minutes songs?
I guess you can look me up on Spotify. I did 120 minutes playlists for each year up until 2003.
Jesus.
Well, I just put I found a place where they have every playlist.
What was on 120 minutes?
120 minutes that aired, that people have documented, and I put every song that I found from each year on there once. If it was on Spotify, and and I just that's what I did. But I also did that for Headbangers Ball.
Oh, did you do it for Headbangers Ball?
That's what I did last year.
Oh, I didn't realize you did it for Headbangers Ball.
Uh-huh.
Oh. Did you do your Spotify Wrapped yet?
I think I did, but it feels like it came out like super early.
It's December. It always comes out in December. I can tell you.
Maybe I should. Oh, you go and find your.
No, I already have it. I took a screenshot of it. I listened to 15,096 minutes of music.
So I had 21,897 hours of music.
Minutes.
Yeah. Minutes. Hours.
Yeah, so you did beat me.
I did beat you.
I still had 15,000 plus.
Yeah.
So that's pretty respectable.
There's a lot of, just me sitting there and listening to trams, and,
Yeah.
I got work. I got Spotify Premium, which I highly
I do
suggest.
too, yeah.
I think it's definitely worth it. Also, I like to said is like your top musical styles, not the genres, but like
what's your mood or
what's
whatever.
your mood?
Yeah.
It's like it says angst and nostalgia, and I'm like,
that's 100% true.
that is so friggin' true that I am, because I am the angry hero,
You are
but I also live in the past exclusively
100%. Yes.
for just about everything.
Yeah.
That I watch and listen to. So the Spotify gets me.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I do enjoy those raps things.
Those are fun. Yeah.
Yeah, so and we search both of us on Spotify, I guess help.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm under my actual name. But yeah, sure.
Anyways, thanks for listening, folks, and we'll talk to you again next time.
Bye.